Welcome to the Take Your Power Back Show with Peak Performance Breakthrough Coach Kim Today's empowering program will encourage you to step into your power, to take action in your leadership, and allow your voice to be heard. Listen in today as we speak to other freedom-loving Americans that are making a positive impact in the world by standing in truth amid adversity. Learn how to take your power back in your freedom, in your personal and professional life, in technology and creativity, and in your faith. Be inspired. Be encouraged. Be transformed. Together, let's take your power back with our host, Peak Performance Breakthrough Coach, Kim Yeater.
Well, welcome, and hello, my freedom-loving patriots. Welcome to the Take Your Power Back Show. I'm your host today, Kim Yeater. In today's show, exposing California's laws, protecting our children from harmful agendas, we are sounding the alarm on a crisis in this state I am living in right now, the state of California, where laws like AB 957, I'm waking up to my voice right now, and AB 665, because we're all waking up to our voice, are failing our children and stripping parents of their God-given rights. Jeff Younger is battling to save his son, James. He has been in this fight now in California with his pediatrician mother, Anna Georgulis, I believe, and I'm going to correct that name if I've said that wrong, but Georgulis is what it sounds like, who's pushing gender-affirming care enabled by a November 2024 court ruling granting her sole medical authority. James hasn't had surgery, but the threat of puberty blockers looms under these dangerous laws. AB 957 pressures courts to favor parents who affirm gender transition in custody battles, while AB 665 lets kids as young as 12 years old consent to mental health treatment, including gender counseling, without parental approval, risking manipulation by agenda-driven adults. Today, Jeff Younger, Mark Esquivel from National Family Justice, and Sam Anthony from Your News joins us to expose this system and rally for change. Other states are following suit, and it's time that we, the people, take our power back by fighting back. Let's do that today. Very special guest. I am so excited to have him in the room right now. Jeff Younger, we're bringing you on in. Jeff, good morning and welcome to the Take Your Power Back Show.
Thanks for having me.
Jeff, an absolute honor to have you here on the show. Now, I want to give our audience a little bit more of your background, right? So you have been fighting on the front lines. You've been fighting to protect your son, James, from the irreversible gender-affirming treatments pushed by your ex-wife. You know, and she is the pediatrician again who moved to California in 2022 to leverage its sanctuary laws. And this is crazy. We have been fighting our sanctuary states. We've been fighting these super sanctuary cities like San Diego. So if we all look at this, after a bitter battle in court in Texas in November of 2024, Los Angeles court ruling granted your ex-wife sole medical authority, raising fears of puberty blockers or worse for 12-year-old James. You know, you have a campaign called #SaveJames, and it sparked national movement to protect kids. Our audience has heard a bit about this story, but there's people that just haven't heard your story yet. Give us your story, Jeff.
Here it is in a nutshell. If your audience goes out to YouTube and searches for "Mommy Says I'm a Girl," they'll see the first iPhone video I ever took. It went mega viral worldwide. I'm an Orthodox Christian, so Eastern European countries couldn't understand how this could happen to a boy in Bible Belt, Texas. She started to transition my son at 2.5 years old. That video shows him at 3 years old saying that mommy says he's a girl, and he's starting to believe her. This led to a divorce. The custody evaluators, the psychologists in the divorce, said that I was lying about my ex-wife, that she wasn't trying to transition my son. And on that basis, gave me less than standard possession with my son. And they knew, they had seen that video, so they knew. They lied in court. My ex then ramped up the social transitioning, presenting him to the world as a girl. I would take my son to school at Pinkerton Elementary in Coppell, Texas, under Principal Mickelson. I name names. That's what you'll find about me. And this school, Pinkerton Elementary, would give my son a dress and change him out of boys' clothes and make him use the girls' restroom. They did that for almost a year before I found out about it. I appealed up through the school district grievance process, and of course, they found they did nothing wrong under their nicknames policy. Turns out that's legal in all 50 states, and we can talk about why that is. It's very important that parents be aware of how that happens, because it can happen with doctors too. So after that, as she started ramping it up, eventually she got emboldened and tried to take sole custody of my kids and actually terminate my parental rights. That resulted in another trial in 2019, and the top transgender medical experts in the world showed up at this courthouse, the 255th District Court in Dallas, Texas. I had Dr. Levine, who started the first gender clinic at Johns Hopkins in 1973, and they shut that clinic down after 4 years because their data showed they were harming patients with these so-called treatments. My ex-wife brought in Johanna Olsen Kennedy, who at that time was running the largest gender clinic in America in Los Angeles County out of LA Children's Hospital. I asked Johanna Olsen Kennedy one question in a sworn deposition on video, and they refused to put her on the stand. And here's what I asked her. I said, Dr. Olsen Kennedy, what is your medical justification for removing healthy body parts from children? And here's her answer. I've memorized it. Quote, if the body parts cause psychological distress, they're not healthy and we can remove them, unquote. The opposing counsel who was running the deposition quit the case. They had to bring in another lawyer. She was so distressed by that answer. Yeah. Anyway, in 2019 trial, I won. I got 50-50 custody, no child support, but most importantly, I got a check on all medical procedures on my sons. The liberal judges in Dallas County were very upset about this. They moved my case into the 301st District Court under Judge Mary Brown. I call her Judge Bloody Mary Brown. Bloody Mary Brown used a common tactic in family court where they create orders that you can't follow. And then because you can't follow the orders, they take your parental rights. So I was running for office in Texas because I actually successfully got a bill passed here in this state outlawing these practices, and I was running for office at the time. So she put me under a gag order, preventing me from talking to the news media, writing newspaper articles, doing podcast interviews like this one. For about 6 years, that was actually illegal for me to do all these interviews. I repeatedly requested that she send me to jail on criminal contempt for that. And I was ready to go up on habeas corpus in the criminal court, where they would undoubtedly have found it unconstitutional. But instead, she reasoned like this. You're not following my unconstitutional illegal order, and that order was entered in the best interest of your children. Since you're not following the illegal order, I'm going to take your parental rights. And she gave me supervised visitation. She forced me to go to visitation with transgender so-called therapists at Forensic Counseling Services in Dallas, Texas. I name names. And they said that I couldn't change my son out of a dress, I couldn't pray with my son, and I couldn't use his real name. So I didn't go to those supervised visitations. I decided on 3 moral principles I was going to follow through this process, no matter what happens, even if I had to go to prison. 1, I would never harm my son. 2, I would never morally miseducate my son. And 3, I would never allow my resources to be used to harm or morally miseducate my son. So eventually what happened, they said, well, Mr. Younger, you're not using the supervised visitation, so you've abandoned your children. This is a common family court tactic. Yeah. And so they allowed my wife to move to California. Right 1 month after California passed SB 107, the transgender kidnapping bill. I went up to the Supreme Court of Texas to try to stop it. The Supreme Court, under the influence of the liberal Republican establishment in Texas, allowed my son to move to California. And I should point out that less than 6 months after that ruling, which was a favor to the governor of Texas, Governor Abbott appointed the justice that wrote the opinion against me to the Chief Justice of the court. This child abusing judge, Justice Blacklock, is the Chief Justice in the Texas Supreme Court. I get to California. I get in with Department 64 with Judge Mark Uhas. He denies me an independent medical exam. He denies me an independent physical exam. He seals the court illegally in California. There's no ability to seal courts in California. So even the press could not attend my trial, and they didn't, because they committed many felonies during the court. They didn't want witnesses. He also denied me all evidence from the other side. I had to provide thousands of pages of discovery. The other side gave me no discovery. And so I went to trial with no evidence. I brought in Miriam Grossman, who destroyed their expert, which is a woman named AJ. She goes by AJ. She works at used to work at the gender clinic in LA Children's Hospital. We destroyed her on the stand. But the judge nevertheless said it doesn't matter if these transgender treatments are good or not. He's only going to decide which parent is best able to make the decisions. And he gave that to my ex-wife. My son, I believe, was chemically castrated about a month after that. And now I'm trying to keep him off cross-sex hormones. I can't talk much about this, but there are good reasons from actions that I and others have taken that the LA Children's Gender Clinic has been shut down. My intention now is to shut down all the other gender clinics in California and to pass laws that will protect children from these barbaric procedures.
Oh my gosh, Jeff, I am so inspired by you. Not sure where I'm getting feedback right now. I might mute. There we go. That fixed that. Jeff, first of all, I have 4 kids, and I cannot, and I did go through a pretty nasty divorce. I became a single mom of 3, and I was dealing with the courts. And also, my kids were having to go through court-ordered he was having to do the monitored visitations, which he didn't show up for. So I can understand. I get this story, right?
Right.
I cannot imagine being in your shoes and fighting this fight. And there are parents out there that feel completely alone right now. They're in this fight. They don't know what to do. They look at your story, but they're lost in the pain. Because, and the reality is this, there's so much junk in the trunk coming from our past, correct? I mean, right. I don't know the story of you and your wife, that marriage, all of that. But the reality is we carry over the junk in the trunk into our relationships. And then our kids get the brunt of it.
Right.
What are your words to the families out there that are fighting this battle? What can they do today to really take their power back? I love the idea that you're like, we're taking this out. We're going to fight and take it out. How can they join you? What can they do to stay in the fight?
So I think a lot of people think that speaking is enough. And, my dad used to tell me, and when I was in the Marine Corps, my whole family's military. Marine Corps gunnery sergeant told me the same thing. When you feel despair, when you feel like this is the end, when you feel like you can't go on, all you have to do is focus on the next step and make your situation 1% better. You don't have to make it better. You just got to make it 1% better. And if you can make it 1% better, maybe tomorrow it can be 2% better. And what you need is hope. And you get hope by proving to yourself that you can change the situation and make it even 1% better. That's the first thing. So despair is a sin, and we should not engage in it. Instead, we should focus on what needs to be done and do our duty rather than follow our feelings. The second thing is, people, I think, are fighting what I call symmetrical political wars. Okay. So if there's a bad law, they try to go into the legislature and convince the legislators to change it. The problem is you've got big moneyed interests that you're never going to be able to match there, right? Go where you're strong. So ask yourself this is what I did in Texas. I asked myself, what do these people care about? They care about money, and they care about their reputation, and they care about their business interests. So let me give you a concrete example. I won't name these people's names because they've since apologized to me. But I was trying to get this law passed. I had 2 legislators that were blocking me, and they blocked me for 6 years. So finally, I went after their donors. Notice I changed it asymmetrical. See, I went after their donors, and I went into these conservative rural counties in Texas that were donating these people. Well, I talked to a banker. And I said, listen, this guy's not doing this, and I want you to pick up the phone right now and call him and tell him to do it. And he said, you're crazy. Get out of my office. I said, well, maybe you should look out your window. We were on the 2nd story of his bank. I looked out there. I had 50 people surrounding his bank, passing out flyers that had a picture of him superimposed over a rancher's face who was castrating a bull. and I had his name under it. And then I had coupons I had gotten from other banks for people to pull their money from his bank and put it into other banks. He picked up the phone and he called those people, and they stopped blocking my bill, and I got my bill. So you got to think asymmetrically. It's not, you're not going to, and what happened honestly was this. I was sitting in a room in Texas. I was sitting in a senator's room, and I realized I'm actually trying to convince this guy that castrating kids is wrong. And I just said, I'm not doing that. If you don't know that castrating kids is wrong, I have to force you to do what's right. I'm not going to persuade you. So I just stopped using the means of persuasion. I look for the means of coercion. And that's another thing that like our guys need to start realizing. If you can change the money situation for these candidates, or you can bring in money for the other side, you can get them to do what you want. It's just that simple. If you want action in the legislature, you go after money. If you want action against the judiciary, you go after the legislature. You have to think asymmetrically. The answer is usually not in the place where you're trying to make change.
I absolutely love it. It's incredible. I mean, you're a warrior.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, when they try to kill your kid, you'll step up.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that'll turn you into a warrior if you're not one. I've stopped paying child support, for example. The California's position right now is that I have to pay for the chemical and physical castration of my son as medical child support. And I'm not paying that. And they're saying, oh, but you can get 2 years in prison. Well, send my ass to the LA County jail then, because I'm not paying it.
Yeah.
And I think more fathers, more mothers need to recognize that you cannot let your resources be used to hurt your kids.
Oof.
That will ruin you. That, first of all, it'll send you to hell. Yeah. Second of all, it will just ruin your ability to resist the temptations of the devil. Yeah. Because once you give into that and you let your resources hurt little kids, you're done. You're done. So don't give in. Like we know that we have the right moral principles.
Yes.
We know what the 10 Commandments tell us to do. And sometimes if you read the Old Testament, you read the New Testament, doing your duty entails suffering. So our guys just need to stop expecting that they're going to get stuff done without suffering. You're going to suffer. You're going to hurt. People are going to come after you. You might lose your job. I've lost my job. I'm unemployable in my industry. I don't care. It's just money. Who cares? This is the thing. Be prepared to suffer. That's part of being a Christian. That's the reality of political life when you're a grassroots activist.
That's right. Yeah, you caused me to think of the scripture. He who tries to save his life will lose it.
That's right. That's
he
right.
who loses his life for me will save it.
Yes.
And what an example that you were leading by. Tell us a little bit more about James. When was the last conversation that you had?
I went to 2 supervised visitations. Those visitations were actually so bad that the judge barred anyone in his court anytime in the future from ever using that custody evaluator again. They're Angels custody evaluators in LA County. James and I talked about his views on education, what he was thinking about, what he wants to be when he grows up. His brother Jude, there's twin boys here. I named them after the brothers of Jesus, James and Jude. And they, James, sat in my lap. He did all the things he did, when we had more contact with each other. And we talked a lot about books he was reading. He's an avid reader. James is also into art, and he likes to paint and draw. And we actually did some of that. I got lots of big hugs from him.
That's incredible. And that was how long ago again?
That's been 2 years.
So let me ask you a question. I would assume from everything that you said, you are a man of prayer.
Yes.
What does your prayer look like and sound like when you're praying for James, his mom, the system? Can you give us an example of that?
O heavenly King, Comforter, Spirit of truth, who are everywhere present and filling all things, treasury of good gifts and giver of life, come and abide in us and cleanse us of all impurities and save our souls, O good one. Holy God, holy mighty, holy immortal, have mercy on us. Holy God, holy mighty, holy immortal, have mercy on us. Holy God, holy mighty, holy immortal, have mercy on us. Glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, both now and ever, and unto ages of ages. Amen.
Wow. Amen. Wow. It's Thank you. Thank you.
My son can get to heaven, and both of my sons can get to heaven, no matter what happens to them. And that's the focus of everything, sanctifying them in the Holy Spirit and getting them to heaven.
That's right. That's right. How can we, the people, support your cause?
You can go to savejames.org, savejames.org, and I do case updates there. You can follow me at Jeff Younger Show. I don't actually have a show. I felt like my life had become so public. It was like the Truman Show. So it's kind of a joke. You can also go to jeffyounger.show. And that's a place where I publish all updates across the web. And so all of the stuff the court's doing, everything, you can do that. You can also follow really good groups on Facebook. Dad Talk Today on Facebook is really good. And cooperate with your local citizens. I think the most important thing people can do is work with their local citizens in their local county and get this stuff out of their schools. If we can get it out of the schools, we can get it out of everywhere. And it's going to take action at the local county level. And that means electing people to school boards, and it means electing county commissioners that are going to do what you tell them to do. And most of our people are not paying attention to these elections. But the thing about the county commissioners court is all money, state money, federal money, tax money, all of it is spent by the commissioners court in counties. Counties actually are what run America. And so who's on that commissioner's court in your county is going to determine whether your kids will be abused or not.
That's right.
And so pick those people wisely and get good people on those commissions.
Incredible. Local. My listeners hear me say this all the time. Local action equals national impact. That is a quote from our good General Flynn. But that's the key. We've got to get down to the board of supervisors. We need to get involved. We need to vote. We need to stand up. We need to do the example of what you did in front of that bank. That is absolutely extraordinary.
You know, I like to give concrete examples to people so that they can get their head around this. Let me give you an example of how I got representatives to vote with me, and I used the county process to do that. So I looked at some of the rural counties in Texas, and we have extremely rural counties. So we have counties that have, like 1,800 people living in them. And they're giant counties. They're larger than LA County. Okay, they're big geographically, and almost nobody lives there. Well, I figured just mathematically, with the limited money resources that I have, that I could spend, $40,000-$50,000, and I could flip 500 votes in one of those counties, and I could elect anybody I want. So I went into those counties. I drove out in the desert, took a lot of water. Wore a wide-brimmed hat, keep the sun off me. And I spoke to people. I just walked up to people's houses. I went into Mexican restaurants and talked to people. Said, did you know that this representative is supporting castrating little kids? And eventually a sheriff showed up and told everybody to calm down, that, we need to solve this politically. People were getting really upset. And what do you know? Suddenly that guy flips his vote. So I went back in there and I put 3 people on the county commission.
Wow.
Because they had been supporting this guy. So a lot of times it's looking for places where you have leverage. You're going to have, since we don't have the money, but we have the common sense.
That's right.
You want to go where there's low populations, but the people that are in those low, lesser populated areas have common sense, and you can get people elected that will do what you need done.
100%.
That's an example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that is a great example. And that is, it's all grassroots. That's exactly what we need to do to take our power back. Jeff, an honor to have you here today. You have dropped wisdom. You've left us with the spirit to fight for our freedom, fight for the protection of our kids. I want to thank you for being a voice for James and so many other parents and children. I want to thank you for sounding the alarm on the crisis right here in our state of California, where laws like AB 957, AB 665 are failing our children and stripping parents of their God-given rights. We're praying for victory for you and James. We're going to absolutely support you. And we're going to be praying for that mom too, for an awakening for mom, and for we, the people, to rise up and fight. You are such a warrior. Thank you so much for being
Thank
with us
you.
today. You know what? We're going to have you back again.
That sounds great. I'd love to come back.
All right, guys, save.james.org. That's save.james.org. That is Jeff Younger with us. And you got to love that. Do you hear that? Savejames.org. Love it, love it, love it. But I said .org. Boston kicked in there, the org, sometimes that stuff comes up and you just can't pull it out once it's there. Well, guys, what an incredible show today. Exposing California's laws, protecting our children, and harmful agendas. I want to introduce you guys to a couple of our sponsors. Our sponsors are what make today's show possible, the Take Your Power Back Show. So you can go to takeyourpowerbackshow.com to support our sponsors. That's takeyourpowerbackshow.com. One of our sponsors that I absolutely love, who is a warrior for freedom and election integrity. And remember, Jeff said it, we've got to vote the right people in and get those people that are not supporting our children out. Here's Mike Lindell.
Just like all of you, I had problems sleeping. I had tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. I'd flip-flop all night, use my arm for support, and fall asleep, or I'd wake up with a sore neck or maybe a headache. Well, quality sleep comes from keeping your neck straight at night. You have to fill in that space between your head and your bed. That's why I invented My Pillow. My Pillow's patented fill adjusts your exact individual needs, and it doesn't matter if you sleep on your back, stomach, side, or any combination of all three.
When I got My Pillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get Classic King My Pillows for only $19.98. Queen size just $18.98. Standard Classic My Pillows only $14.98. That's right, only $14.98. Plus all orders $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Go get your pillow, get a good night's sleep. I slept like a baby and I woke up refreshed. I utilized my Giza Dream bed sheets, my pillow, and my complete mattress sleep system. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wake up refreshed. mypillow.com/Kim. That's mypillow.com/Kim. Now, one of my favorite sponsors that I love to talk about as well is Patriot TV Beef. Now, you found our shows on Patriot TV as well. So we are supporters of Patriot TV with Patriot TV Beef. What the heck is that? Do you like good beef? Do you like never, ever hormone or antibiotic black label beef? No Zeranol high choice select beef? That's exactly what you're going to find with our beef. The resource we've tapped into is vertical integration. Guys, they are absolutely amazing. I've had beef at Mar-a-Lago. I've had beef at the highest level steakhouses. This is the bomb diggity beef, and I love my juicy grilled ribeyes with a perfect amount of fat. You can go to patriottvbeef.com. You'll have a video drop down to you. That way you can take your power back with what you're putting in your body. Real food, real beef, no hormones, no antibiotics. That's patriottvbeef.com. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, guys, we are going to pop back on over to the Take Your Power Back show today. What a show today. It is exposing California's laws, protecting our children from harmful agendas. And we just got done listening to Jeff. Jeff is amazing. Absolutely love him. He has been a warrior for freedom. And our next guest that we have entering the room is Mark Esquivel from National Family Justice. He has been an incredible supporter of Jeff and James. Mark Esquivel is a warrior for justice, leading National Family Justice to combat court corruption and protect families from harmful laws. His work, featured in the Jeff Younger documentary, exposes systematic failures that prioritize ideology over children's well-being. Mark, I am so excited to have you in. Let's go. Let's pull you in. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Hey.
How's it going?
Great hat, by the way. Absolutely love it. You are a dad, aren't you?
I'm actually wearing my Dad Talk Today hat because NFJ does certain things and Dad Talk Today does other things. For example, we're in talks with Jeff to produce his documentary. We've already done one documentary called I Stand with John, which was basically chronicled a father who lost his life due to the injustices of court. What would I say? We call it a court scheme in Idaho. And Idaho is a hotbed right now because you have the Koberger case, you have the Lori Vallow case. So you have, a lot of high profile cases going on in Idaho. And I heard Jeff talk about, courts being sealed. That's another part of what Dad Talk gets involved in, is when we hear there's a sealed case, we will specifically go file a media request into that case to open it up. And so today I'm wearing my Dad Talk Today cap, not my NFJ cap. So
I love it.
That's so for another day.
I love the work you're doing. Now, you're tackling the same issues Jeff faces in California, in Idaho, in here locally, AB 957 and AB 665. So how is the National Family Justice fighting these dangerous laws, boots on the ground?
Well, the first thing is awareness. And there's two other bills to be made aware of too. So SB 107 is actually the law that Gavin Newsom signed that allowed Jeff's ex-wife to come out here with James and Jude, because they're twins, but she's only trying to transition James. So that's kind of ironic. And then there's another one called AB 1955, which allows the schools to come in and strip you of your parental rights, as well as you referenced AB 957. And there's currently another law that's going after charter schools right now, AB 84, which is being voted on today, right now. So we've
tell me what that is again, AB what?
AB 84.
AB 84, and this is impacting charter schools.
Yeah, so you have the Democrat, heavy legislature in California, and they just keep peppering us with all these bills because they have a 7-2 vote in the assembly. So it's real easy to just get it out and get it to a floor vote. They have the majority on the floor, so it's easy for them to get it out of the House and the Senate. And then the biggest thing is it goes right to Newsom and he just signs it. And so back to Jeff's point of how do you combat this? Well, we do it at the local level. For example, we recalled a city council member. I'll leave the city's name out of it. And currently we have a DA that's under recall in Contra Costa County. So the people came together and the DA was not prosecuting crimes like you hear in a lot of the liberal counties in California, letting pedophiles and murderers and gang members, out on what's called like penny bail. So now you're affecting, society and you're affecting kids. We have another recall that's going on with the Palmdale Freedom Coalition. They are currently going after a city manager. That city manager has been affecting the city next to them by paying to get all the city council members elected. So they're currently going after him. And then right now we're involved in recalling Mr. Newsom because I think he's set fire to California enough that we don't need him in there for another year and a half. So if we can get him on the ballot in November, we can, so to speak, chop the head off the snake that's signing all these ridiculous bills that affect people like Jeff Younger and every other family in California.
That's right. That's right. So I had a great conversation with Jeff prior to you coming on, which you got to hear in the back end. That prayer, I was in tears.
Right.
You just felt his heart. Now, to be able to go through what he's gone through, you need God to step into that warrior. That's exactly because he's pushed off hate. He is not hating. He's not bitter. He's not resentful. It's that righteous indignation that comes out of that man.
Yes.
So let me ask you, what role does your faith play in you fighting for the children?
So back to the word that he used is hope. So Dad Talk Today just started with Eric Carroll in a small rural town in Georgia and has now exploded to, close to 2 million followers. So hope is number one. And then people always ask us, you hear so many tragic stories. How do you keep going after you hear story after story, like murders of parents at custody handoffs or Jeff's case and Jeff, Jeff's case is like the canary in the coal mine. His was the first, but his is not the last. And we basically just say it's a good versus evil. If you just break it down that simple, there are good people and there are evil people. And the people that are writing all these bills to chemically castrate children or to steal them from parents or to traffic them across state lines or to put them in foster care or to write a bill that you can have sex with a 16 and 17-year-old and it's not a felony. Those are the bills that are being brought forward by the Democrats.
Yeah.
Literally every month. There's a bill right now by Cuevas out of LA. She wants fraud against, Medicaid, Medi-Cal, any type of fraud. And I don't think this is going to go anywhere, up to $25,000 worth of fraud.
Oh my gosh.
To be a misdemeanor.
Oh
So
my.
basically LA County is going, we're admitting we're stealing. And it's been proven by the administration that there's $14 billion in fraud. And so at the local level, we know that Bill Assaley's now the new U.S. Attorney for California. Yeah. So we need to protect our constituents that we know are committing fraud.
Yeah.
They're doing voter fraud, that we're admitting that they're doing
election fraud, mortgage fraud, bank fraud.
So
and the hammer's coming down, Mark.
Yeah, we need to write a bill to protect them. I mean, if that's not an admission of guilt, I don't know what is. But the simplest thing is it's good versus evil. And you just need to pick a side. It's real simple. It's not right. It's not left. And I said this on a podcast before, because the recall is bipartisan. So you have Mel Gibson on one side, conservative. Yeah. You have Randy Economy on the other side, liberal. And then you have everyone in between that's part of the recall. So on Luke Melanquire's podcast, I said to show people that this is bipartisan, that pretty much every issue is an 80-20 issue, that the people are fed up with the policies. I'm not the right side and I'm not the left side. I'm just, the right wing or the left wing. I'm not either side. All I am is just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. And if you chalk it up to good versus evil, it's real simple to do the right thing.
Most important thing. That's exactly it. The next right thing. So tell me a little bit about your organization and one example of one of the bills that you fought, you guys won. I want to know a real boots on the ground example where you empowered. We've seen you empower Jeff and support Jeff, but I'm a parent. Right. And, I'm somebody who's fighting for freedom and you can feel like, gosh, is it even moving the needle? So walk me through one of those areas where we're really seeing the needle move.
So specifically to the judiciary, there are currently 2 ad hoc judicial oversight committees that have garnered national attention. The first one came out of Arizona, which was led by Mark Fincham. And
yes, he was here last week. Love him.
Yes. Yes. So we spent a lot of time with him in Idaho and back and forth to Arizona, and it spilled over and we've gotten that off the ground. So anyone in Arizona, if you have a family member that you know of or a friend that was attacked by the judiciary, you had civil rights or constitutional rights infringed upon, get a hold of his office, go to one of these ad hoc judicial oversight committees and just tell your story. So awareness is number one. As Jeff said, shining a light, on it. That's the best disinfectant. So Arizona is doing that. Just last week, we got the judicial ad hoc committee off the ground in Idaho. So now members are testifying there at the end of the month, and they're doing a rotating judicial ad hoc in Idaho. So they're doing Ada County was last week. At the end of the month, I believe it's July 31st, they're going to be up in Coeur d'Alene. So all the senators and all the House members will be there to listen to all of the people's complaints of constitutional civil rights violations at the ad hoc. At the same time that the Idaho ad hoc was kicking off, we're now getting just peppered with bring it to my state, bring it to my state. So we're going to bring it to California. We're in talk with the senators here. We've got Utah. We actually got a call from the Assistant Attorney General of Utah saying, can you bring this here? I just saw what's going on in Idaho, Ohio, New York, you name the state, we're getting contacted with how can I get the Judicial Oversight Committee to our state? So that's number one, is shine a light on it, get victim statements out there, have the Senate and the House involved, And that's how you can change it at the county and the state level in your state.
Yeah, so we actually can do something. And that's what's really huge is it doesn't take an attorney. I don't need to have that kind of a background, And I love the fact that I can utilize the platforms I have. I can go down to the Board of Supervisors. I can vote. I can fight. I mean, this is huge. We all can get involved. Now, when we go to your organization online, let me pull that back up again. I want to show that here. The nationalfamilyjustice.org. What are we going to find there that might be a tool or a resource for us?
So that's more awareness. Let me start you with both. So Dad Talk Today is free. We have a support group. So you can go to Dad Talk Today support group. We have 42,000 members.
Is that .com? What is that? Dad Talk Today? What is the website?
Dad Talk Today. Yeah, I've got it here.
.com?
Yeah. So we have a support group. So that's for people that are going through any type of court stress or trauma, as well as it just gives a place for people to discuss, stuff about dad, stuff about your family, your uncle.
Come on, dads rising up.
Just all the dads come in here, but it's not so dad centric because half the people in there are moms too. They're aunts.
Wow,
they're going. My husband's going through this.
Yes.
Or my grandfather, or this, that, and the other. So that's a free support group. And then back to awareness. In 2021, we did our first documentary called "I Stand with John." It got 2 million views. We shot it on a Nichols budget, and it was just bringing awareness of the plight of John Mass, who actually lost his life. So right now, Jeff is literally fighting to save James's life.
Wow,
John lost it. John lost his life, and that trial is currently still going on up in Lewiston, Idaho, right now. The murder trial, and so the father who committed the murder is in prison, but the rest of the family is also now being charged as well as co-conspirators.
Where can we find that movie?
It's free. So Dad Talk Today is free. The support group is free. You can go to YouTube and just pull up "I Stand with John." And you will find our first documentary. Okay. We then did a follow-up because back to the courts. We wanted to prove that we can put a camera in the court. So when the murder trial came up of Jim Brashear, we live streamed the entire trial, did a mini documentary called "I Stand with John, Lawless in Lewiston." That is free also on YouTube. So our dads are broke. As you said, Jeff was driven into poverty to protect his son. So our support group is specifically for the people that have been pushed into poverty and just thrown by the wayside. And so that's what kind of started, Dad Talk Today. On the other side, the NFJ, it just started this month. It's a C3. And so we're incorporating everything as far as like legislation, resources for military, because one thing that's used against the military is they come back from fighting for our country, and then these courts will use their PTSD to strip their kids, or they come back and their family's just gone. They're like, wait, I was just fighting on an 18-month deployment. I came back, my wife and kids are gone. What do I do? How do I find them? And so we have a ton of resources for them as well. And it's basically it's all encompassing. Dad Talk Today, we started because Eric saw an opening like, hey, we have VAWA money. We have shelters for moms. We have ASFA. What do we have for dads? And Eric's like, we have nothing for dads. So let's start this free support group. And that's where it started in 2019. And
I love that.
The next one
dadtalktoday.com. So moms and dads that need support. It's not just for dads, but if you need that support, guys, get involved. The Bible says, rely not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him and he'll make your path straight. He also talks about for us not to get in the habit of not meeting together. We need one another. We need to surround ourselves with like-minded people, right? When I think of Moses, I think of Miriam and Aaron holding up the arms of Moses to fight the battle. That's what we need to do for one another. So Mark Escobar, I just love you. Thank you for, blessing us today, for being here, for being an incredible support for Jeff and James, for all the communities, and with your organization, nationalfamilyjustice.org. So people can find you at both sites. So that is, hold on. Dad Talk. So nationalfamilyjustice.org and dadtalktoday.com. So I'd like to have you back again. Would you come back and join us again?
Well, we have an event that we're working with. I've got some good news on that event on the 8th.
Is this the Take Your Power Back California Republican Governor Showdown on November 8th?
Yes, I might have some other names tied to MMA that might be wanting to come join us along with Dad Talk today.
General,
I won't give the names now. We're still ironing it out. But
I have to tell you, General Flynn is participating.
What's that?
General Flynn is participating in this event.
Okay, so
Lara Logan is participating. Dr. Douglas G. Frank, go on.
So I'll tease it like this.
Yes, tell me.
Think of 2 or 3 of the most famous MMA fighters ever, and they might be coming with that. Yeah, I'm not going to name.
The kickboxer in me is ready. Let's go.
I'll give a little teaser. I'm going to be in Huntington Beach. Not saying any names. I think Friday, and then I'll be at Oceanside Pier Saturday for the recall of Newsom. But one of the people might be tied to Huntington Beach, and the other 2, you know them by name. So we're currently working on that, Eric and I, in the background, as well as getting the Jeff Younger documentary off the ground as well.
We are taking our California back. Oh, yeah, because as California goes, the rest of the nation will go. We're going to fight this fight to the very end. Mark Escobar, you are a blessing. I'm so excited to reconnect with you. We're definitely going to have you back on, and we'll be in communication.
Yes, I mean, I'll be in your neighborhood possibly Saturday.
All right. Well, I'm in town, so let's connect. I'll be in communication. Love you, brother.
Okay. Love you too, Kim.
An honor. Guys, wow. I got to tell you, I'm just blown away by the warriors in this room today. That was Mark Esquivel. We've had Jeff here today. We have had fighters, but we're not done yet. We're at the heart of the Take Your Power Back show right now. And the stakes are truly critical. Jeff Younger's fight for his son, James, now under his mother's control in California after the 2024 ruling exposes the AB 957, the AB 665, and those two additional rulings that you heard from Mark, laws that favor gender ideology over kids and parents. So the AB 957 presses courts to side with parental pushing transitions like Anne, the mom of James. AB 665 lets 12-year-olds make life-altering choices without mom or dad's consent, risking manipulation. This is absolutely sick, you guys. Other states are passing similar laws, threatening families nationwide. That is why it's so important that we Californians take our California back. This requires action. So firstly, support. Hashtag Save James. Support. Go back and watch this again. That way you have all the information you need. And I'll put everything in the drop down as well. And you also want to join National Family Justice. Get the resources that you need. Dad Talk as well. And you want to amplify the truth on Your News. That's our next guest, Sam Anthony from Your News. Let's protect our children and restore our rights. Stay with us for solutions to fight back and to save our children. And that's going to be with Sam Anthony bringing it next. We're going to take a moment just to thank our sponsors who make the Take Your Power Back show possible. And to my freedom-loving patriots, you know, your support of the Take Your Power Back show has been absolutely incredible. So I just want to do a quick shout out to Laura Douglas, her donation. I want to give a quick shout out to Ronald Romero for his donation. Guys, every cent that you send over to takeyourpowerbackshow.com goes into keeping freedom alive. You are a part of keeping this show present today so we can have people like Jeff on it, Mark, and up next, Sam Anthony. All right, we're going to transition for a second into our commercial. I'm going to pull that up now. Here's the fun part. When we do live shows, it is always like, here we go. We are live. We are playing big, or we're going home. So I'm going to pull this up for you right now. Patriots. This is patriotsbuyingamerican.com. So guys, this is probably one of my favorite sponsors. I love my sponsors because they love freedom and they're a stand for freedom. So let me ask you, where do you go and spend your money and shop to feed your family, to take care of your well-being? Where's your everyday shopping? Is it with Procter & Gamble, Colgate and Palmolive, Johnson & Johnson and Unilever? The big box retailers, the ones that stayed open in the midst of COVID, feeding Walmart and Amazon. Are those the ones you're buying from? Did you know your money is going to BlackRock, Vanguard, and this woke agenda? I say no more. Fight the fight. Start with your pocketbook. Take your money back. Take your wellness back. No more poisons in your body. Make the switch to a Patriot American debt-free manufacturer. Patriotsbuyingamerican.com. That's right. We are patriots. We love our freedom, and we are going to support American companies. This company is what USA Today named America's best brand. Do you brush your teeth? Do you wash your hair? Do you use deodorant? Do you eat? Do you want nutrition that actually absorbs? What about skincare? That's botanical. Nutrition that's bioavailable. Regular everyday products that are actually safe for you. You can tap on in. Go to patriotsbuyingamerican.com. Tap into better, safer products that are going to make a difference for you and your family. You're going to access $100 in free products. They are the bomb diggity. That's patriotsbuyingamerican.com. A video will drop down for you. Take a look for yourself. You're also going to have the opportunity to tap into Never Ever Hormone or Antibiotic Black Label B, $50 off every purchase when you go to patriotsbuyingamerican.com. One of our team of experts will personally reach out to you and tailor this according to your wellness needs. That's patriotsbuyingamerican.com. Let's bankrupt the corrupt. It's time. Next up is one of our dear patriots. He is a warrior. You may have seen my shows on his platform. He has been fighting the good fight for some time. His name is Sam Anthony. And you know what? I think we need to bring him on into the room. Sam Anthony, your news. Welcome to the Take Your Power Back Show.
Kim, how you been?
You know what? When you're around, I'm always doing good.
I was at an event. I saw a Take Your Power Back sticker on a truck in West Palm Beach, Florida. And I went, that's got to be Mark Anthony. And I went in. It was an event, and he was there, but he said it wasn't his truck. So I was.
Oh, that's so funny. You know what? And my car, my FJ Cruiser has the big Take Your Power Back signs. I was just thinking for our upcoming event here in the state of California, I need to make some T-shirts. I need to get some stickers made with our logo, because the words have the ability to bring life or death. They are the choice morsels we eat. What we speak about, we bring about, Sam, right? And so when you just see Take Your Power Back, you're like, shh, I'm going to take my power back. So Sam, how can we take our power back in getting real information and real news like we saw today on the back end? You've been listening to today's show. So I want to know, is your network another one of those ABC, CBS, CNN networks filling us with the woke agenda so we drink the Kool-Aid and buy the false narrative?
No, but I'm still to this day just blown away that the legacy media still lie. It's just ooze out of them. I don't understand it. I understand that there's an agenda, but remember, you got to live here too, even if you're reading it off the teleprompter. Okay. You got to say at one point, this is a bunch of crap. Okay. So I don't really get it, but here's the good news, Kim. None of them will survive. I've been saying it forever. Now It's actually coming to the point. I mean, they're actually half in the casket right now. By the way, did you see the numbers that Adweek came out with for the first quarter for cable news? Did you see?
No, give me the numbers.
So the cable news numbers were horrific, worse than I've ever seen. But that wasn't the real news that I got out of it. The real news I got out of it was the demographic between 25 and 54, which represents basically a third of the population.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
There were a total on all networks combined for the first quarter, and this is not per month. This is over all 3 months, 500,000 people viewing.
Are you kidding me?
It's over. They're all getting their news from Instagram and TikTok and Rumble and anywhere else. Doesn't matter. Okay. It's just, and so the reason that the legacy media is dying is because all the ad revenues go into the platforms where all the people are. It has nothing to do with lying. I mean, as long as they're propped up with money, and then USAID pulls all their money, because that's where they were getting literally billions of dollars. And so it's just a matter of time for they're gone. That's the good news. So no, we are not institutionally controlled. Right now, we're Sam Anthony controlled. And I'm not.
That is the bomb diggity. That's virtual integration, baby.
Yeah. So I would be the institution, and you know, we don't have any interest in pushing an agenda. As a matter of fact, we believe that all sides should be heard. Right.
That's
so,
right.
You know, I will tell you this: I do not get liberals submitting content to me, and the conclusion that I formed was that they don't want their content around content that makes sense. However, I got one yesterday. I think it was. It was an opinion. I certainly disagreed with it, but I ran it anyway in the opinion section. So that and here's the reason why, Kim, because you know, you were censored. All the people out there were censored. You know, people that had, you know, X account or Twitter accounts at the time, Facebook accounts, YouTube channels.
Yes.
They were all kicked off. They were all censored. They censored the conservative voice, and they pushed an agenda. Right? You can't have a democracy if you do that. You know, you can't. You really. To me, I think both sides, not extreme one way or the other, but I mean, I'm talking both sides, center right, center left, should be able to have a voice, and everybody should hear it. And then you form your own conclusion. If your argument is actually better and it makes more sense, maybe that's the way we need to go. Right? I
love it.
But they eliminated it. Want to know why? Because their argument was so ridiculous that anybody that came up with something that was just made somewhat sense was better than what they had. And that's why they got rid of them. So it's a shame we're in the position we're in today, but I'm going to fix it.
I love that you're going to fix it. So tell us, you know, tell our listeners how we can actually use your platform to protect children from these harmful policies.
You know, by the way, savingcalifornia.vote. I saw that, Mark. Somebody named Mark. And I looked at it and I thought, isn't somebody named Paul, I can't think of his last name, doing something in California about the new California? New California.
Oh, you're talking about, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, you're talking about
is it not
New
Paul?
California, Paul Preston.
Yeah.
Paul Preston, New California.
Yeah, Paul Preston, right. Because we published his stuff. So I just was looking, going, what is Saving California? I mean, I thought Paul was trying to say.
Well, that is, so the whole Recall California initiative, we got to recall California for sure. The Recall Gavin Newsom initiative. That's what Mark was talking about. So we've got, you know, Randy Economy, you've got Mel Gibson on that team that are pulling, they've got 1 month to pull the numbers for the Recall Gavin Newsom initiative. And hang on one second, Recall Gavin Newsom. Let me look this up real quick. Sure. So that is, what is that website? The Recall Initiative, rescuecalifornia.org. RescueCalifornia.org is one of the initiatives. SavingCalifornia.vote. Is that what it is? Saving California.
Well, that's definitely on the
chat. SavingCalifornia.vote is what it is. Yes. Okay. And let me actually share this real quick. Hang on one second. Let me pull this up. Boom. And let me come back to you here. Because this is really, where'd you go?
Me?
Did I lose you? Oh, that's so funny. All of a sudden, my screen popped over to a completely different screen. I was like, where'd you go? You're gone. Sam Anthony. Okay, let's share this because this was one of the things that I wanted to share. and I didn't share. So we got that. Hold on, present yours. Let's do the share screen real quick, and we're going to pop on over. Takes a second over here for a second. All right. And we call Gavin Newsom, top stories, mama. I believe this is it right here. Okay, beautiful. Let's pull that up right here. Okay, so this is the savingcalifornia.vote. They've got literally a few weeks left to raise. They have a couple million to raise. So if there are big donators right now that can support these signatures, get it. So basically, your money goes to get this on the ballot. That is going to be key. And it doesn't matter. And Sam, I think you know as well as I do that, there's people that are likely thinking, well, you know what? We're about to have an election in 2026. Are you kidding me? That guy, Gavin Newsom, is going to sit in office until, 2027 before somebody moves into that position. So we can't let him do that. So we have the ability to have this recall, to tap on in and get it on the ballot, to recall this guy right away. And we've got some great people running for governor. If you've been following the Take Your Power Back California Governor Face-Offs, which tomorrow will be on, by the way, at 5 p.m. right here in this neck of the woods on the same platform you're listening to. So, Sam, so glad you brought that up. All right, let's go back for a second. I'm going to shut down that screen, stop that share. All right, so Sam, your news. I love your news because as a show host, for me, it's super easy to work with. I trust that you're a platform that is not going to censor me. I was censored and canceled from Salem TV. I was censored and canceled from YouTube. LinkedIn, Sam? LinkedIn.
They're the worst. They're the worst.
It's horrible. And then constantly off and on with Facebook and Instagram. That's what we're dealing with. I mean, yesterday on X, I hope I'm not being censored on X, but my post just disappeared, literally disappeared. And it was kind of some breaking news. So I love the fact that I can get information up on your site and people can locally, like anything I'm doing locally, they can access news that's local to their city, their town, their state. They can access news nationally. It's cutting, it's fresh. I love the look of your site. How can the average person, what if you've got like a local reporter, somebody who's boots on the ground, right? That's not necessarily a reporter, but they really want to get into this. Is this a place that they might be able to post some of that information?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me tell your audience what it is so they can, and then I'll tell you how they could utilize the service. So we're a daily, like the LA Times, the Miami Herald, the Chicago Tribune. Our website looks like a news website. When you log in, it geolocates you just like every other platform. So it will take you to San Diego or Miami or Phoenix. If you block your IP address or your provider gives us the wrong city, you click change your location right at the top, put in your zip code, it takes you to your city. So just imagine you're looking at a news website, right? Sports, business, politics, entertainment. The difference between me and the local paper is I do not only national news, but I do local news in every market in the United States. Okay. So you're in, where are you, in San Diego? Is that where you are?
San Diego. Yep.
Okay. So at the top, does it say San Diego?
So at the top of mine is San Diego, California. It automatically opens San Diego. This is amazing.
Mouse over local edition.
Okay. Mouse over
right here. Down a little bit lower.
Local edition. Got it.
Okay. Select top stories, which is straight down.
All right. Come on. Local edition and top stories.
Okay. So this would be like the front page of local news in San Diego. Okay.
I'm on San Diego.
And there you go. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So if you scroll down the page, this is all local news coming from boots on the ground in San Diego. If I took you to Miami, you'd see Miami news. If I take you to Chicago, you see Chicago news. Yes. So anybody could do national news. It's the local thing that makes it unique, right? Now, there's something I want to show you because you don't know about this yet. Do me a favor. Mouse over national news.
Okay, there.
And click on auto racing. I'm very broad in scope. Okay, so
where is it? Right or left?
Right. And I'm looking where it says sports.
Okay, so sports, auto racing, got it.
Okay. Now, the lead story is, what does it say? McLaren, Arrow McLaren reveals new whatever. Okay, or this one. Open one of these. Okay, just click one. More.
Come on,
This
let's read more.
is so I have people that do auto racing news. This is Derek Vance. Now, the reason I want you to see this, Kim, is go to the top a little bit higher. He does a podcast and he does written news.
Oh, down.
So
Scroll down.
scroll down right where the title is. Go to the title. Little higher up.
Oh,
Go
higher up. Forgive me.
Yeah,
Forgive
yeah.
me. Forgive me.
Right there. You see his name at the top,
Yes.
Derek Vance?
Yes.
Click it.
Okay. Dark Vance.
Yeah.
Derek Vance.
Derek Vance. Click it.
Dark Vance. Derek Vance.
Okay.
Derek. Okay.
Now, do you
Let's
see
do
the
that.
top? I can't see it, but you could see it. It says where the URL is. It'll say like your news author page, Derek Vance or something
Yes,
like that.
I see.
This is like your YouTube channel. So if you scroll down, this is every article Derek has submitted to me. You have one too. So you know how you put follow me here, follow me here, follow me here.
Yes.
So then this is so not only do we do auto racing news, we have political podcasters, we have local news reporters all over the United States. So Kim, in the last 6 months, we've picked up 861 news reporters.
Oh, that's incredible.
So I have 861 people reporting news. Okay.
Yes.
And by the way, by the end of the year, I'll probably have 4,000 or 5,000. Okay. It's easy.
I love
They have
this.
nowhere to go.
Incredible.
That's the point. So this guy reports, but his following is all auto racing people. So what he does is he submits the content to me and shares it out on his social media pages. And I get thousands of his people coming to view his content. Makes sense?
Amazing. Yes.
Which and his content is national in scope, but we could run a story to a city or a county or a market. So at the bottom of the page, this is where we're going.
Okay.
At the bottom of the page, for people that want to be news reporters to cover local news.
Yes.
You see where it says become a citizen journalist?
Yes.
Click it. So for those of you, just like YouTube, you know how many people
I love her. She's amazing.
Okay. Do you know who she is?
No, I don't, but you need to introduce me. Do you know her?
She works for me.
Oh my gosh, I love her. You have to introduce me. I follow her, and I just love her. Yeah, Sam, you got to introduce me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, she was. As a matter of fact, she's my partner's daughter. Okay, very
is her
bright.
full name?
My partner's daughter. So I have a partner in Vegas.
What is her full name? Sam?
If you scroll down,
Yes.
you'll see a little lower. You'll see an application. So for people that want to become local news reporters, that's it. This is where you get monetized. So when you fill this out, it comes into us. We look at it to make sure nobody's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Sure.
And then once we activate you, you're now a news reporter. By the way, it's no different on YouTube. Okay. YouTube, how many people on YouTube were actually broadcasters? Did you used to work for CBS? I know you probably work for radio, right?
Yeah,
no?
radio. Mm-hmm.
Radio. Okay. So there's a zillion people millions of people on YouTube that were never working for CNN or ABC or NBC.
Right. That's right.
And some people do cooking shows, some people do sports shows, some people do political shows. This allows everyday people to become local news reporters.
It's amazing.
Okay. That's how it's done. So now what happens is they write a story and then they share it on their social media pages and they get a percentage of the ad revenue. Now, the reason I'm telling you this, Kim, is because this model is really the same as YouTube, meaning when you open up a YouTube channel, you're not going to make $1 million day one. You have to build an audience. Once you build an audience, then what you do is you get monetized. You make more money if you have 10,000 viewers than if you have 1,000 viewers. Mine's the same way. So the next piece we're doing, which should be pretty soon, Kim.
Hey, look what I see.
I put it up for you.
Oh, yeah, baby. Come on.
That's live right now. This show is being aired live right on our site right now. You like that? So this is in your channel, Kim. Okay, at least I added you. I wonder if that worked because I put it up there for you. Yeah. And it should be under your channel. So if you hit your name.
Okay, so all right, where do I go? Now,
scroll down to the title. Scroll down to the title.
Okay, scroll down. Oh, of the show itself.
Yeah, you passed it.
Right here.
Well, okay, open it. Now go to the title and click your name. So.
Oh, click here, Kim Yeater. Oh yeah, I got to go change some of this stuff out.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You don't change any of this out. This is a working, so it'll just keep adding.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do is I'm going to go add a bunch of shows in and change out my logo. And Yeah. I've got to get somebody who's working this end of my social media for sure.
So now let me tell you, we're putting a follow button here, Kim.
Love
So
this.
what happens is as you build an audience and people following you, when you post, let's say you had 10,000 people, it'll automatically alert 10,000 people that you just posted and they'll all come in and you make money off of it. I'm working on it. All right.
Come on.
So that social component makes me like basically Facebook for news, right?
Yes.
And so ultimately, at the end of the day, the future of news will be an online platform. What we do will replace the legacy media. But here's the thing. This is what I want people to understand. I'm not in the news business. I'm in the platform business. There's a difference. Just like if you and I built a football stadium, we don't play in the NFL. We just own the damn stadium and they play on our team. So that's the draw. So the news reporter, somebody like you, you're the brand. It's your responsibility to build your audience. What we create is the tools and the way to generate revenue for you. But it's up to you to generate it. So I'll bring in the advertisers. You need to produce the content where the ads appear on your content. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Because you don't have time to be selling Joe's Pizza an ad, but that's what we do. Okay.
That's right.
So the thing is the scale, because we could post news to a city or a county or a market, state, regional, or national. So local news in other markets is completely different than what's in San Diego.
Now, Sam, people can invest in your news.
Yeah,
there are investors right now that are looking for something like this. How can they contact you?
Well, actually, you would just go to your news and go to the bottom of the page and click the invest button down there by the Become a Citizen Journalist. It'll take you to Issuance Express, which is our equity crowdfunding campaign. So it's not like Give, Send, Go. You actually own stock in the company. It's owned by North Capital Partners, but you can make an investment and buy stock in the company. And it's not that hard to do. I've got a full plan to take this public.
You know what? I need to talk to my finance guy because I think that's one of the investments I want to make.
I'm going to tell you right now, Kim, by the end of the year, I'll have 4,000 or 5,000 news reporters. By the end of the next year, I'll have over 20,000. That makes me the 10,000 pound gorilla.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Sam Anthony.
No, this is not even hard. Kim, you want me to share my screen with you? Can I?
Yeah. So we've got 4 minutes to the completion of the show.
Hold on.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, you should be able to share your screen.
I'm going to show you something that will blow you away. Hold on.
And while you're pulling that up, I want everybody to know that the thing about you, Sam, is you have a work ethic that I respect. Sometimes my days are 18-hour days. You put in the work. You're smart about the work. You are willing to do whatever it takes for freedom to reign. And I just love you.
Yeah, this is the next mainstream media, and there's no institutional money. That's the key. So everybody to know that. I could have easily went to institutional players. By the way, that's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Okay. Hold on. Don't show that or whatever. Let's see. Okay.
You should be able to pick exactly.
Yeah. So this is LinkedIn Navigator. Tell me when you see this.
Okay.
So it's LinkedIn. You just get different data. So I'm going to do.
Actually, you know what? Hang on. I'm going to add that to the stage. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. I see.
LinkedIn Navigator. So I'm going to select freelance journalist, but the geography is the United States. Now, for those of you who don't know, when somebody's freelance, that means they don't have a job. Okay.
Yes.
This is all part of the downsizing of the legacy media. Please look to the right here. Do you see the 490,000 results?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's all the people that have been laid off. Now let's talk student journalists right here, just for the US. On LinkedIn, they should have about 170,000 results. Okay.
Wow. Yes.
So I'll come back to you. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because what I do is fill a void. Like there was no void in the video industry until YouTube kicked everybody like you off. Okay.
Yeah.
Rumble filled that void. They have a $3 billion market cap. I am the only player in this space. There's nobody. So what I want is those 500,000 people to come to my site.
That's right.
And now you understand?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. So it's filling a void.
Yes.
And this is new media. It's just the way it works. So you get it.
General Flynn's words are,
I
we are the digital warriors. I mean, listen, he has been saying over and over, we've met in small rooms with him, local action equals national impact, and you are the digital warriors. Take it seriously. There is a gap that's opened for you, and people are seeking the truth. You get to bring it.
It's all we do is we decentralize the news business and we democratize who gets to say it. So
wow. Sam Anthony, thank you so much for being a stand for freedom. Thank you so much for you have not given up. You just are like pushing and pushing and pushing to give everybody a space for their voice to be heard and for truth to be exposed. So thank you for what you do with Your News. And, now I know we can find you at yournews.com. Is there any other place you'd like people to go to reach you personally?
If they want to reach me at sam@yournews.com if you have questions. But other than that, if you want to be a news reporter, you could fill out the application. Anybody wants to make an investment, they just click the invest link and read about what we're doing. The beauty of this is you could spend $200, Kim. So we have people invest too. That's the beauty of a platform, is you could spend a little bit of money or a lot of money. It just depends on, the individual and what kind of resources they have. But to me, if we're a news organization that's supposed to be for the people, by the people, then the people should own the product, not the institutions. So that's why
right. That's right. So sam@yournews.com. Did I get that right?
Yep.
sam@yournews.com. I have to tell you, Sam is one of my favorite names. My son, Liam, he grew up as a Sammy, Liam Samuel. So he was Sammy, Sam. So Sam is such a love term. I just love you, Sam.
Well, thank you, Kim.
An honor to have you. Well, listen, we're going to have you back. And thank you so much for getting the show up today. And you are reminding me that
Did you see what you did? Sam at Your News, SAMAT.
Oh, wait, it's a symbol at, yeah?
No, it's AT. It's not the symbol. It's AT. You see it?
AT.
SAMAT.
Symbol. It should be the symbol, right?
No, it's the letter A and the letter T. Sam at Your News.
The letter A.
Yeah, you want the symbol. sam@yournews.com. Right?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Because I wasn't sure. So it's just like this, right? Let's make sure that's right.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking it's a website. It's a website you're sending people to.
No, well, that's my email. The website is yournews.com.
sam@yournews.com. Oh, Lord. Let me tell you, it's been 18-hour days. They've been late nights. They've been early mornings, and my brain is still waking up. All right, Sam Anthony. Well, I love you. Thanks so much for being with us today. And thank you for continuing to bring the truth into the light. And so excited about your platform. And I'm excited for those investors that are listening right now. And they're like, you know what? We're going to talk to Sam. We're going to reach out to Sam. Reach out to Sam at sam@yournews.com. Sam, I'll see you on the other side. And Sam, you got to come out for our upcoming Take Your Power Back California Governor Showdown. It's the Republican Governor Showdown. It's going to be absolutely incredible. It's November 8th. This is the current flyer. The brand new flyer will be up with 3 additional candidates. We've got General Flynn participating, Lara Logan participating. We've got Dr. Douglas G. Frank participating, Ryan Tillman, Sharifa Hardy, and there's a few others. So
I ran into Leo Zaki over in Tampa at Turning Point.
Yes.
He was there. Yeah. Louis Herms, very cool.
And tomorrow, look what's up tomorrow. Oh, check them out. This is our whole Western thing. But listen, we're going back to the Wild Wild West, giving power back to we the people. This is the California Governor Face Off Round 4 tomorrow, right here at 5 p.m. Pacific. And this, I'll tell you what, these guys have an opportunity to bring it for we the people. The questions that will be asked are the kinds of questions that peel back the layers. The heart is deep waters. A wise man draws out the heart. We want to know their real belief system. Are they really going to stand for truth? So you're going to hear for yourself, Sharifa Hardy, Kyle Langford, and Ryan Tillman right here at the Take Your Power Back show. So Sam Anthony, without further ado, I am going to release this from the screen, and I'm going to say, thank you for being with us today.
Oh, great to be here, Kim. Good to see you again.
You are a warrior, and I'll be talking to you very soon.
Okay, bye.
All right, that is Sam Anthony, Your News, guys. Sam is an absolute warrior for freedom. And I would absolutely encourage you, make your news one of the platforms that you go to every single day to get the real news. Now, warriors, it has been a powerful show today. We've been shining the light on California's dangerous laws. We've provided real solutions. We've talked to those that are fighting for the children and fighting for your voice being heard. So Jeff Younger, fighting for James, trapped in the California laws. We are fighting for, listen, all I got to say is this. I'm tired of what's happening in California. I'm tired of it. And I want to fight, and I can't do it alone. Jeff can't do it alone. Mark can't do it alone. And Sam can't do it alone. We have got to unite, and we've got to come together. It's going to take every single one of us pushing for the truth, getting out of our comfort zone, not trying to save our own life, being willing to lose our life, which means letting go of pride, letting go of selfishness, letting go of selfish gain. It's about unifying together to truly take our state, your state where you're at, where I'm at right now, the state of California back. That's what we are going to do together. We're going to get involved locally. We're going to change the laws, and we're going to get those people out that are holding that woke agenda. We're going to get those people out that are bought out by the deep state, that are being paid off. They're going to get out, and we're going to get the righteous people back in the spot to create that space for our voices to be heard. So with that being said, you have been listening to the Take Your Power Back show. I'm so grateful every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. when you join us. Tomorrow, we're back here at 5 p.m. Pacific for our upcoming Take Your Power Back Republican California face-off. And that is going to be with 3 warriors. You got Ryan Tillman, you've got Sharifa Hardy, and you've got Kyle Langford. So join us at 5 p.m. Set your calendar. And remember, November 8th is a big event, a powerful event, and that's going to be the actual Carlsbad, California showdown. You definitely want to be a part of that. We're looking for sponsors to that as well, and you can find the detailed information at takeourcaliforniaback.com. Ticket sales will be up soon. That site is going to be transitioning over, so just get ready, hold the spot. Now, my charge for you today is keep fighting, keep praying, and let's together unify and take our power back. And remember that he who began a good work in you will carry it out to the very end of the age, until the time of Jesus's return. And I don't know. It looks like we're not too far off from that, but don't be deceived. God cannot be mocked. Be aware of the time so that we are not deceived by the falsities that'll be coming our way. And remember, God has given you a voice. God has given you the ability to take a stand. Now's your time to stand up and protect the children. Get those guys out of office that should not be there. You put those people in office who are truly going to support the voice of we, the people. May God bless you. May God bless America. And I'll see you guys on the takeyourpowerbackshow.com. You can find us on Rumble. You can find us on Patriot TV. You can find us on PPN. You can find us on all social media networks. I'll see you on the other side. I'm Kim Yeater signing out. God bless you. God bless this country. Let's take our power back. See you soon.
Thank you for joining us for the Take Your Power Back show. As Peak Performance Breakthrough Coach Kim Yeater speaks to other freedom-loving Americans that are making a positive impact in the world by standing in truth amid adversity. Listen in weekly and learn how to take your power back in your freedom, in your personal and professional life, in technology and creativity, and in your faith. Be encouraged, be inspired, be transformed as you step into your power and take action in your leadership and allow your voice to be heard. Together, let's take your power back. To sponsor and support the Take Your Power Back show, go to takeyourpowerbackshow.com. That's takeyourpowerbackshow.com and take your power back.